Hi, in the last lecture we have seen that how to handle dynamic data in traditional way. In that we had made the changes in the range of the data. That means we were increasing or decreasing the area of the dotted boundary whenever we increase the number of rows or columns in the source data. But the traditional way is little tedious. We cannot do each time change the data as well as refresh the data. Is there any other way around us to simplify this process? Good thing is that there are two simple ways to handle the growing and dynamic data. First and simple way is that we will simply remove the row identification from the range of the data like this. In our case, we will remove static 1 from A and static 9995 from U. Now our range is expanded from entire A to U with all available rows in the worksheet including the blank rows. Let us understand this by an example. Try to add one more order ID CA0001 at row number 9996 and just refresh the pivot table without changing the data source range. New order ID CA0001 which we have created just now is available at the start of the pivot table. Now if you can see, there is one more row order ID as a blank is showing, which is actually refers to all blank rows available in the entire data range. Okay, now we will see the second and more professional way of handling this growing and dynamic data using our data set as a table. For this, we will select our entire data. So, put your cursor in cell A1, then press Ctrl and Shift key together. Then press right arrow key and then down arrow key. It will select entire data available in the sheet. Then select Format as Table option, which is given middle of the Home tab. Let us select any style. Suppose we select this first one. A pop-up will appear. This shows our entire data range. Let us keep it intact and make sure this My Table as header checkbox is checked. And now press OK. Right now, data set is saved as a table 1. Let us rename as a sales data. As we can see, style of the table is also changed. Now let's visit to our pivot table and in change data source option, write our table name, that is sales data. Press OK. Now we can see that our pivot table is intact like before. It has same values, rows and fields. Now my entire data sheet will work as a table. Okay, now understand this by one simple example. Let's add some rows CA0001 and CA0002. As soon as we add these rows, it is automatically coming or adjusting in that sales data table. Now again go to the pivot table and refresh it without changing our data source range. As we can see, two new rows are reflected in the pivot table. If I want my data source back as a range instead of table, simply select Convert to Range option in Table Design tab. Now go to Change Data Source option and we can see it is already changed to range instead of table. These are the two shortcuts which we can use for dynamic data in the pivot table. Thank you.